how David's Jerusalem, 1000 BC, made a city work no laser, no bombs and no energy. Now you see 7 tests on the screen: urban axis, protected water, terraces, functional house, corners 3 to 4, 5, security gate and sealed stock of grains and olive oil. The Bible speak. The visual test show, faith which becomes practice. How would you align this without a laser? David's Jerusalem was in an arrow hill, with water below and surrounding valleys. To survive, they needed think every step: where to walk, where to get water, where to live, where to store food, how to protect the entrance. And the most impressive thing is, it's all in the Bible, and it works. Simple, practical, real. Let's go to the first test. David's Jerusalem begins with a simple thing, a main path running along the crest of the hill. It is he who organizes everything. Just like the hallway of your house guides bedrooms, living room and kitchen, this urban axis guided gate, houses, work areas, and the descent to the water. Without this axis, the city would be just houses thrown on the hillside. Chaos. When you look from above, you realize that the whole city follows this line. It's not random, it's intentional. Whoever enters through the gate already falls into this path, and it leads directly to the highest area, where David established government, worship, and surveillance. It is as if to say, you entered, then you are already being organized around the city. And the most interesting thing is that this axis is not pretty, it is functional. He takes advantage of exactly the partless incline of the hill. This is not aesthetics. It is about walking every day without slipping, without carrying unnecessary weight, without wasting time. The Bible describes movement, pilgrimage, ascent, and here the geography explains why. With this axle breaks, everything breaks. Water takes a long time, food is late, security fails. What if this path were blocked? What would happen to the water? We see this in the next topic. David's Jerusalem only exists because of water. The source was at the foot of the hill, exposed in the valley, a dangerous, visible, vulnerable place. If the enemy arrives first, the city dies dry. So the first great solution is not spiritual. It is practice. Protect the water without showing off. They created an inner path, descending inside the rock to the source, like a building's water tank. You don't see it, but everything depends on it. Now, instead of going down from the outside, exposed, they took water inside, safely. It is the Bible that becomes survival mechanics. Notice the detail. The water is not just being stored, it is being hidden. If the enemy doesn't know where it is, don't know how to attack, this changes everything, and it explains why the city didn't give in easily, even though it is small and surrounded by hills. When water becomes invisible, the city becomes invincible. But how can you use water on such a steep slope without everything collapsing? The city of David is in a steep slope. If you try to build straight on the slope, everything streak, collapses. So they did something simple and ingenious. Terraces, horizontal cuts that transform hill into steps for use. It's like catching a sloping lot and transform into level yards. Simple, practical, survivable. These terraces are not just for planting. They organize the floor for walking, cooking, storing tools, drying grain, creating space for the house. It is engineering of daily life, made stone by stone with patience, not in a hurry. Every meter of flat ground is rest time that the body gains. And to hold these terraces, they're taining walls, not walls of war, but of support. Large stone underneath, smaller stones fitted together, narrow joints, no cement, only fitting. If the right stone is in the right place, the slope becomes a reliable ground. Each terrace is a survival layer, food, circulation, stability. But how do you build straight walls and perfect corners on a plot of land like this? This is where the Cordell 3-4-5. When we think of an old house, it's easy to imagine something improvised. But in City of David, at home, was a tool. It wasn't just where you slept. It was where you worked, cooked, saved and lived. It's like understanding the house as a small factory. Each space has function and flow. The plan is simple: entrance, courtyard, preparation space, elevated area for sleeping and storage. Nothing is for nothing. The courtyard is the heart. That's where grind grain, knead dough, dry food, repair tool, teaches child. Life happens in the middle. Notice how the flow is smart. What enter already has place. What it works already has circulation. What guard already hashite and protection. No wasted energy. It is Bible becoming routine, faith becoming practice. And the most beautiful thing is that when you look at this plant, you recognize your home today. Kitchen where you cook, area where you store, space where you rest. Technology changes, but wisdom to keep life flowing is the same. But how did this house look? Letter, solid, with perfect corners, without a tape measure, without a level, without a laser. A city may have water, terraces and houses, but if the walls are not straight, all bends, cracks and falls. A strain, which level, which laser. So how did they do it? Perfect corners. They used a measuring cord with 3 nodes, 3, 4 and 5. It's the same logic a square of a bricklayer today. 3 units on one side, 4 on the other, and the diagonal with 5. If you hit 5 exactly, the corner is straight. Think about it happening in hand, on earth, in the light of day. The builder stretched the string, checked the angle. He adjusted stone by stone. No magic, only simple account, real accuracy. And it is exactly this detail that gives credibility to everything we are seeing. It's not theory, it's replicable procedure. Any trained person could repeat. If the corner is accurate, the gate becomes a strategy. Let's see how a small town creates big security. The city does not need to be big to be difficult to invade. She just needs think about the entry path. In David's Jerusalem, the Gateit wasn't just a door, it was a filter, a space where whoever arrived was seen, heard, and evaluated before entering. The entrance was not letter, she made AL, forcing the person to slow down. This changes everything. Who is with good intentions, it goes by slowly anyway. Who is with bad intentions, loses speed, surprise, and advantage. It happened there: social control, exchange, dialogue, inspection, care. As the concierge of a condominium, it is not a gigantic wall that protects, is a thought point that organizes the flow. Here, the city gains something valuable: time to react. And in a world without sirens, without radios, without electric fences, time is safety. But security cannot be maintained if food runs out. So how did they maintain life running week after week? Every city is strong until end up eating. And in David's Jerusalem, the base was grain and oil. The grain gives strength for the body. The olive oil gives calorie, kitchen, and even light. Without oil, the city goes dark. Without grain, the city stops. The grain wash and ground, no stone mill, with the body weight, arm, knee, rhythm, day after day. It's work constant, not event. It's the kind of thing that keeps the family alive without anyone noticing. The vineyard of press, where the olive is squeezed slowly until the liquid gold runs out. This oil was not just food, era concentrated energy, storable, portable. When you understand this duo, grain plus oil, you understand planned survival. It is not a miracle without effort. It is faith that works. But if you store food, how do you prevent theft, loss, or contamination? Storing food is not just have somewhere to put, essential that it remains good. And in the city of David, this happened with something simple and brilliant: sealed jars. The jars had long bojoto fit a lot and narrow mouth to control air intake and outlet. Then the opening was lettuce with clay, wax, or firm fabric. This prevents insect, humidity, smell, and mainly mixes unintentionally. But there's an even smarter detail: signs and marks. Seal on the lid, brand on the side, family symbol. It's like labeled the freezer and still put padlock. You know what you have, who it belongs to, and when to use. This creates something precious in community life. Trust. Who knows what's up and where is it? Does not enter into despair, enters rhythm. And this rhythm wasn't improvised. It followed a time. And when time is well organized, the city breathes. If everything works, water, housing, food, security, the city still lacks something not to wear out, the right time to work and the right time to stop. To be rhythmic was not cultural, era sacred, workdays, rest days, moments to harvest, moments to store, parties that marked the year and reminder of why one lives. It's like they are family's planner today, when everyone knows the day to do and the day to stop, at home flows. When no one knows, everything changes tiredness. This calendar was not a rule for weighing, was a strategy to survive. Resting was part of the life engineering. Like this, God organizes time in Bible, the city organized time in practice. When everything fits together, space, water, food, shelter, time, faith ceases to be theory and becomes real life. 7 proofs, 1 practical truth. David's Jerusalem was not improvised. It was survival engineering. The urban axis that organizes, top-protected water that supports, the terraces that tame the slope, the functional house who works, the corners 3, 4 to 5 that give precision, the thinking gate security, the sealed stock that keeps the table full, and the rhythm of time that preserves body, community and faith. When the Bible comes out of the paper and becomes visual test, the mystery turns revelation. A biblical curiosity turns strew applied. What did David do with land, water, stone and routine? We can translate today. Order, purpose, and hope in everyday life. Practical question. What you can line up this week? Your axis, your water, your home, your time, so that your life fluent. If that made sense, stay with me in the next chapter of the series. Arc. Real measurements. Visual evidence. The unlikely explained. There. This is not true as the measures organize the construction, like the 3, 4, 5 closed corners and how simple tests make the impossible understandable. Comment now which test surprised you the most. I will read each comment. Click on the thumbnail next to it and come to the practice.